Hey everybody, I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Hope your week's going well. We're almost there, almost the weekend. Looking forward to going down to Pensacola again. If you can't tell, I get a little stir crazy here in the house in Alabama, but it's all good. It'll be nice to get out of here, and it's going to be super cold again, so I'm actually going to have to buy another shirt or two today. Anyhow, I wanted to talk today about the best transition to a raw food diet step by step. I do videos every day, so if you're not already subscribed to the channel, I'd appreciate if you'd hit that subscribe button now. Then click on the little bell and check send notifications so they'll keep you subscribed to the channel. You know, I was getting ready for this video this morning, and I was just thinking, I see so much complicated, convoluted information on how to do this lifestyle, how to be healthy in general, everything about eating, and it's always so serious, so complicated, when eating should really be the most natural thing we do in the world. And, you know, even though we had a lot of conditioning throughout the years, or most of us did, that lived on the standard American diet for decades, there's still a simpler way to transition over to a raw food diet, just simply a plant-based diet. And it doesn't have to be, you know, there's a progression in my opinion. I think there's a certain process that will work. And it's not necessarily having something that's so detailed, well, you got to do this, you got to do that. Like I say, just take the complication out of it and keep it simpler. You know, when we're transitioning, and I'm going to assume, I'll throw a bunch of different things out there because I'm assuming different people, different levels, or different, you know, experience doing this diet lifestyle are watching. So there might be people that are brand new to the lifestyle. There might be people that have been doing it just a little while, a long time. There might be people that it just hasn't worked for them, or they haven't been able to make it work for them, and they need to start again or kind of like tweak their program. So hopefully there'll be a little bit of something in there for everybody. First thing I would say is, okay, I'm going to just do a real simple one right here. Let's say you're eating standard American diet still as you're watching this, but you're interested in a raw food diet. Once again, let me put as a disclaimer, somebody will say, well, I don't have any interest in this, so why would you be watching the video? I don't try to drag any people to eat in any certain way. This is just for people that are interested and maybe helping out a little bit. Okay, so you're eating the standard American diet today, and you want to move. You see the benefits of plant-based, and you see even more benefits to the raw food diet from what you've seen. Well, here's what I would say. And some of it might sound radical, even though I'm more, listen, what I think the best transition to a raw food diet is the transition that you're actually going to do, that's actually going to get you there. Now, you know, you need to work at a pace that's comfortable for you, but you don't want to be dragging your feet. You know, like some people just use that word transition, like they're always in transition. They've been in transition for 18 months, and that's dragging it out. I mean, I say everybody has their own pace, but I think, you know, after a while, it's kind of like, okay, are you going to do it or are you not going to do it? First thing I would say personally, and people have their whole little, okay, we'll do it slow, even slower than this. The animal products, and I think at the peak of my drinking, eating bad, whatever, I could have dropped animal products like that. So drop those animal products. And if you need some help with that, watch some of the stuff on the ethical aspect of veganism. And you know, and connect that way and do it for the animals, because once you get that sort of connection, it'll help you with your health, because then you've got it's kind of like you have a reinforcement for not eating certain things after that, or either that's how it worked for me. So get rid of the animal products. I think you almost immediately, you could get rid of the animal products. Don't worry about anything else. Now, you know, do the best you can. Don't be nuts and just say, okay, well, I'm going to get rid of animal products, but I'm just going to eat horrible garbage in its place. But what I'm getting at there is phase one, you're just getting rid of the animal products, because, you know, you try to take on too much at one time and you end up not succeeding at any of it. So get the animal products out of your diet, out of your day-to-day eating, and don't worry too much. Maybe you can clean up a little bit, try to eat more whole plant-based foods, more fruits, more vegetables. But phase one is just get rid of that, get rid of the meat, the dairy, the eggs, all of that. Step two, I would say, would be get rid of processed food. You know, the processed food, is arguably as bad as the animal products, because if just go into your grocery store. I tell you what, the next time you go into your grocery store, just walk down the aisles and just randomly take items off the shelf and look at the back of that and see the ingredient list in there. And you'll see in so many foods, you'll see 30, 40 different ingredient lists that are 30 or 40 different ingredients and so many foods in there. Look at the sodium. Look at for things like that. Like I notice that when I'm buying things for my mom, like how much sodium are in certain things. So get rid of those animal products and then get rid of the processed. Now, when I say that, I'm not being fanatic. We all are going to eat processed food to a certain extent, but I think you understand what I mean when I'm saying drop that processed food. Look for foods that don't have, that even their ingredients are pretty much whole foods. They're clean foods, and you don't have just this shitstorm of chemicals and words you can't pronounce. Now, after that, I get a little bit more general in the advice. After that, I've talked about this over and over in some of my videos about getting to a raw food diet, transitioning, or even just getting to the best version of a plant-based diet that you want to. I always I break things down. I like to see, even if it's just minute steps, I like to see progress every day. And I like to see, in other words, every day that you eat and every day you get to the end of that day, I would like to see you move forward, even if it's just an inch the next day. What can you do tomorrow to improve on today just a little bit? But I don't want you to move too much. It's almost like taking a course or something, or learning a foreign language where you have to master one skill. If you don't master this skill, or if you don't get to this level, or if you're not comfortable at this level, you're not comfortable going on to the next level. So that's another reason not to jump too much at one time, because like I say, I think there's a psychological value in always moving forward, always moving forward. People are so impatient. I talked about this in one of my recent videos where I was talking about losing weight and if people had weight to lose. Okay, this is a good time of year to talk like this because it's at the first of the year. I know. A calendar of every day is the beginning of a new year, but most of us still think within the confines of things like calendars and whatever. If you just go little by little by little. Now, a lot of people, I'm going to give you a little bit of a depressing message here. A lot of people that watch this video, that are watching other people's videos, that are trying to do this thing, you're going to be disappointed and sad again come December. Why? Because you didn't listen to advice early in the year and you got a little bit too impatient. You saw people like, oh, I've lost 15 or 20 pounds already, blah, 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 and you want it as fast as other people are getting. Stop comparing yourself to other people. Comparison is a waste of time. So I would like to see you move forward every single day, as opposed to, jumping out of the gates and getting some, being all gung-ho and you've done your juice feast and I'm doing this and I'm eating that. And then you fall backwards and you're going back and forth, back and forth. I use the analogy with weight loss, depending on how much you had to lose. Think about it. Even that's not a very exciting to most people. 5 pounds. What if somebody tells you they lost 5 pounds in a month? You're kind of like, okay, well, that's good. It's better than not losing weight, but that's not all that impressive to most people. Let's say, and that's just very, very conservative, losing 5 pounds a month. Let's say you lost 5 pounds a month for this whole year. You're down 60 pounds at the end of the year, and 60 pounds is nothing to sneeze at. Now you can up that a little bit, but I'm just showing you, even in tiny, tiny, tiny progressions, how those tiny progressions add up. And you could do that with the same with this raw food diet, the vegan lifestyle. People talk about all the time, oh, I can't eat this many bananas. So eat what you can. Stop focusing on what I can't do. I'm sick of people telling me, to be quite honest, and I'll be a little grumpy today, I'm sick of people, I can't do this, or I know but I don't. I know but I can't. Well, then I don't know how to help you. You just move forward from wherever you are, okay? You can't eat a lot of bananas. All I can eat is 2 bananas. So you eat 2 bananas. You eat 2 bananas. Maybe tomorrow you eat 3 bananas, or you eat another fruit. I'm not trying to preach bananas. I'm just saying a progression each day, each day. Maybe it's even tougher for you than most people. Maybe you eat one more raw fruit each day. What, maybe you cut one less thing cooked, you add one more thing. You see what I'm saying? But each day. That's the message of this video in a nutshell, is to just try to do a little bit better today than you did yesterday. And it doesn't have to be huge. In fact, I wouldn't even advise it being super huge, because when you take too big a step, are you quite ready for that? Like I say, I just think steady wins the race. So you've dropped the animal products. You've dropped the processed food. That could pretty much be done. You could pretty much be done with that within a month and still be just eating whole plant-based foods. Then you start cleaning up a little bit. Maybe you start trying to find some recipes. You try to learn how to flavor your food in a different way. Drop those oils. Drop the salt. Drop the heavier cooked food, and progress from heavier cooked food all the way down to light food. Now, as I've mentioned before, I've got this Facebook group. I'm not terribly active in it. I'm trying to get my thoughts together and see where I want to take this, but I've got this 30-day raw vegan food challenge, which is just kind of a loose program of it's about progressions, and it starts you have, say, the first month you're raw till noon, which is pretty much simple. So here's a good progression for you. You drop the animal products, you drop the processed food, then you go raw till noon. Just focus on raw till noon, do the best you can through the rest of the day. Then you go raw till dinner. Eat raw till dinner, and then do the best you can for dinner. Then start little by little having fully raw days. There's no pressure on you. I think there's a lot of times when people are like, and some people are ready, and I know it's always like, well, I went overnight or whatever, but some people it's just that psychological, and it gives them a little bit of a safety net knowing that they have a little bit of cooked coming, and they move their way slowly away from it. Once you get to raw till dinner, then you can start having more raw days. You find yourself some good recipes. Find yourself some stuff you like. Find yourself doesn't get into your mindset about this cooked versus raw. Find raw recipes that you would choose any day of the week over cooked, just because they're better recipes. And then you get to a point where you're doing fully raw 3 days a week. The rest of the time you're doing raw till dinner, and boom, raw, and go with that progression, but always be moving forward. Always be moving a little bit forward and improving. That's all it really is. That's all life really is like little by little, day by day. Everybody wants the big sexy leaps. Everybody wants to have that story of like how they went from here to here overnight, which is not realistic for most people. So anyhow, just a few more practical tips on this way of living today. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you like it, give me a thumbs up, and I will see you again tomorrow. Peace.